straight from the motherfucking cassette.
This is take 2. This is my second time recording this. I tried recording this yesterday, and I used a 56mm lens, and I tried recording in my attic, and I did not like how close it was to my face. So, we're gonna try again in my basement, my creepy ass looking basement, where we have overhead lights with the string attached. But I got a chair from my kitchen. I put it in the corner of this room. I got a stool right there that has the clothes I'm gonna change back into when I'm done with this. And I'll go about my day. Alrighty. Let me pull up my notes because I'm gonna be reading this whole thing off my phone. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is the fourth game in the release timeline for the Kingdom Hearts series, coming right after 358 over 2 days. However, it is the first in the world's chronological order. This game was initially released on Japan 9th, 2010. Dude, I fucked up. This game was initially released on January 9th, 2010 in Japan for the PSP. Later that same year, on September 7th, the game was released in North America, and later in Europe on September 10th. This game is tied to the secret ending from Kingdom Hearts 2, also titled Birth by Sleep. This game was created by the same team that was behind Kingdom Hearts ReCoded Memories, team commonly referred to as the Osaka team. In this title, we are given the origin story of the series' main antagonist, Xehanort. We also get to learn about our 3 kiddos from Destiny Island who later get to become Keyblade wielders. Gripes on this later. However, our main cast of characters are actually 3 different Keyblade wielders. From the back of the game's box, it reads, play as Terra, Ventus, and Aqua, 3 friends with a common dream who find themselves in the middle of a crisis affecting worlds far beyond their own. Their destinies will unfold across memorable Disney worlds in 3 intertwining stories. Secrets will be unraveled and friendships will be tested. The Kingdom Hearts saga starts here. I actually find myself a bigger fan of the instruction manual's description. I'm not sure if this is the official instruction manual, but I just found it online on a PDF, so I'll read this. Long before Sora is chosen by his Keyblade, the world's safety lay in the hands of others known as true Keyblade Masters. It is under one of these, Master Ericus, that 3 young people have been training long and hard to prove that they too exhibit the mark of mastery. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua, the 3 of them will soon find themselves in the middle of a crisis affecting worlds far beyond their own. Just as another Keyblade Master, Xehanort, goes mysteriously missing. 3 friends, 3 purposes, 1 grim fate towards which they must unknowingly march. Now that we got some introductory stuff out of the way, why don't we talk a little bit about me? So, purpose of this review. If this is our first time meeting, hi there. My name is Etren. Nice to meet you. I'm making my way through all of the Kingdom Hearts series. Retake. Let's go through the purpose of the review. So, if this is our first time meeting, hi there. My name is Etren. Nice to meet you. I'm making my way through all the Kingdom Hearts games that's available on Steam. Something you should know before going into this is that I've been a Kingdom Hearts hater. I thought the series was more than likely to be overrated, that the fans are probably just weeaboo Disney adult hybrids. After coming this far, my view of the series has significantly changed. I used to record my playthroughs and upload to YouTube, but I moved towards streaming them on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/etren_, and uploading the VODs to my YouTube channel that you are currently watching this on. I've not been doing a good job of that lately. I will admit though, at the time of writing this very script, I've been lacking on both creating and streaming due to personal things popping up in life. New year, new problems. Am I right? Anyways, let's get back to the review of Birth by Sleep, which, fun fact, was the first game I played back on the PSP that made me dislike the series. So let's get into the overview of the plot. Just so that you can have the same understanding of the plot that I do, I'm gonna be spoiling the shit out of it. Alright? So be warned. So, that means if you have any agreements or different interpretations of the plot, let me know. If you agree with me and you think I'm right, don't say anything. Or let me know you agree. I got a sneeze coming in. Dusty ass fucking basement. Alrighty. This game follows our three playable protagonists, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. The three of them are training under Master Ericus, to become Keyblade Masters. Side note, Ericus can be rearranged to be square, a nod to Square Enix. Once becoming of age, Terra and Aqua take the Mark of Mastery, which is required to become Keyblade Masters. During part 1 of their exam, Master Xehanort obviously, but secretly sabotages the exam. This caused Ventus to get involved to help Terra and Aqua. During part 2 of the exam, Terra and Aqua fought each other, resulting in Aqua passing and Terra failing due to noticeable darkness in his heart. Later, after the exam, a bunch of monsters called Unversed started terrorizing other worlds. Ericus tasked Terra with destroying the Unversed and locating the mysteriously missing Master Xehanort. Ventus was visited by Vanitas, Xehanort's really fucking lame apprentice. Vanitas baited Ventus into following Terra. Aqua was tasked with watching over Terra and his darkness and retrieving Ventus back to the land of departure. Speaking of parched, could use some water. Maybe a tissue. Could also maybe use some dusting down here, but we don't really use this room down here in the basement. We don't really use the basement at all. Usually just storage and laundry. It'd be cool to turn the basement into like a little man cave, but I think we need some waterproofing in the foundation before we even think about doing anything to the basement. I'm getting off topic. Where'd I go? Oh, yeah. While away, Terra meets Disney villains who offer info on Xehanort in exchange for his help. He thinks Xehanort is after the Princesses of Heart, and thinks strengthening their hearts will draw him out. Aqua and Ventus thinks that he's full of shit because of what they heard about him and the things he's done. For example, he removed Sleeping Beauty's heart and gave it to Maleficent. However, what they didn't know was that he was possessed by Maleficent's magic. Later, at the Radiant Garden, also known as Hollow Bastion in previous games, Aqua meets Kairi. During this meeting, Kairi accidentally touched Aqua's Keyblade, accidentally performing a Keyblade inheritance ceremony. The ceremony is a trial in which a Keyblade Master chooses a person to inherit the power to become a Keyblade wielder. If the Keyblade accepts the applicant, the person will become a wielder. More bullshit on this later, by the way. The three protagonists reunite where Aqua and Ventus confront Terra before he distances himself from them. Terra later finds himself at Destiny Island where he runs into a probably elementary school-aged Riku. Seeing potential in him, he performs the inheritance ceremony with him even though Terra is technically not a master. Aqua, still not knowing she accidentally performed the ceremony with Kairi, thought that Sora would be a great fit. However, she noticed the ties between Sora and Riku and thought it would be best if the two of them didn't have the friction that she and Terra have in their relationship caused from Keyblade Mastery exam bullshit. Meanwhile, Ventus finds Xehanort. Xehanort claimed that Ventus's destiny is for his heart to be used to forge the Keyblade, spelled X-Blade. That was because of this, Ventus was not allowed to leave home. Ventus returns home to the land of departure to confront Ericus, where Ericus tries to kill Ventus to thwart Xehanort's plans. Terra misunderstands the situation, teleports Ventus to safety, and defeats Ericus in a fight. Xehanort pops in and murks the fuck out of a weak, downed Ericus. He then tells Terra, "Hey yo, pull up to the Keyblade graveyard." Meanwhile, Ventus was sent to Destiny Island where he ran into Vanitas. There, Ventus learned about his past, that his heart was too weak for Xehanort's plans. The darkness within Ventus's heart was extracted, creating Vanitas. Ventus is then told, "Hey, pull up to the Keyblade graveyard." Aqua was chilling with Yen Sid, who then tells her that Ericus is now Arrow was. And, hey, pull up to the Keyblade The three gather at the graveyard. Xehanort pulls up with Vanitas and explains that he plans for Ventus and Vanitas to merge and become the Keyblade, to then unlock Kingdom Hearts and wreak havoc on the various worlds. Oh, he also wants to use Terra's body as a new vessel for his heart so that he can live long enough to see the whole thing happen. Oh shit, my collar is fucked, isn't it? Who was gonna tell me my collar was fucked up? Surely not you. The fight begins. Ven gets low diffed and Vanitas bodies Aqua. Terra gets pissed and uses his darkness, allowing for Xehanort to transfer his heart into Terra's body, taking it over. The community might use the nickname Terranort. Terra's lingering will remains in his armor, and it comes to life and fights with Terranort, defeating it. It? Him? Them? Ventus learned that Vanitas is the source of the unversed, so he merges with Vanitas to eliminate the unversed, while also creating the Keyblade simultaneously. Aqua and Mickey shows up by the way, fight a possessed Ventus while Ventus is fighting Vanitas from the inside. Aqua destroys the Keyblade, and Ventus destroys Vanitas. In the process, Ventus's heart is unfortunately lost. The destruction of the Keyblade scatters everyone, leaving Terra's lingering will at the graveyard alone. Mickey scoops up Aqua and Ventus's husk, bringing them back to Yen Sid. Aqua is informed that Ventus is in a birth by sleep, where he will not wake up until his heart is returned. Aqua takes Ventus and returns to the land of departure. There, she uses Ericus's Keyblade to unlock the Chamber of Waking, turning the world into Castle Oblivion from Reach Into Memories. She leaves Ventus in a throne to keep him safe while she goes searching for Terra. Aqua finds Terra not knowing his body was taken over by Xehanort. The two fight. During the fight, Xehanort stabs himself in the chest to try and block Terra from regaining control of his body. Terra's body falls into a portal of darkness, with Aqua diving in after him. After diving deep into the darkness, she uses her armor glider to fly the two of them out towards the closing portal. However, Aqua came to the conclusion that the two of them wouldn't make it because, I guess she was just too heavy, and Terranort was too heavy for the glider, making it slow or something. So, she sent the glider and Terranort through the portal, sacrificing herself. In her head, she saved Terra, but this is actually what sets the world up for all the hardship to come. We go back to Ventus, where we find out his heart found its way to a young child Sora. He then passes on his heart into Sora's body. Aqua is doomed to roam the realm of darkness. After a long time of roaming, she is eventually attacked by a group of Heartless. To be specific, a group of Darkside Heartless. Instead of preparing to fight them, she gives up and awaits to be killed by them. Before she can see any harm, Terra and Ventus's Keyblades, both their Keyblades. I fucked up writing this. Killing the Heartless and instilling Aqua with a new spark to keep on persevering. There is a secret ending that you can get in the game called Blank Point. We get to once again see Terra and Xehanort shooting the shit in what I believe to be the heart of the new Terranort. Xehanort talks shit, wondering how Terra is still even around, while Terra says that it's his body and heart that eventually Xehanort is gonna get kicked out. Oh my god, let me fucking reread that. Terra says that it's his body and heart that eventually Xehanort is gonna get kicked out. Terra also shares that Ericus's heart rests within Terra's, causing him to never give up until Xehanort's plans are foiled. Come the fuck on. The sooner you get this through, sooner I can change back into normal clothes and get out of this fucking basement. We then see the new Terranort. In future cases, I'm going to refer to him as just Xehanort. He's got longer hair and skin and eyes that resembles Master Xehanort's. He's chatting with Braig, but Braig is convinced that Xehanort has completely lost his memories. Then we see Ansem the Wise eating sea salt ice cream and walking with Ienzo. They both look back suspiciously at Xehanort and Braig. We then fast forward to somewhere around the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Aqua ends up at the Dark Meridian, where she meets Ansem the Wise, not to be confused with Ansem the Evil, wearing an Our Organization 13 cloak. Aqua shares how she fell into the realm of darkness and had been wandering, that she's looking for a way to return to the realm of light to fulfill a promise she made to return to her friends. The word friends made Ansem the Wise think of Sora, saying that a boy with a Keyblade saved the world on multiple occasions. Aqua asked if it was Terra or Ventus. Wise Ansem said that this person could open the door to light and save the world from his mistakes, saying that they are awaiting their birth by sleep. Aqua wants to know his name. We get a scene of Namine drawing Sora. Then she audibly says his name. Sora. Then we see Roxas, Axel, and Xion sitting together, happily eating sea salt ice cream. Roxas and Xion then say his name. Sora. Then we see Ventus and Terra at an intact land of departure. They both say his name. Sora. Finally, we return to the Dark Meridian, where Aqua begins to cry with a smile. And then she too says his name. Sora. Then we get the ending we saw at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 with Sora, Riku, and Kairi on Destiny Island. How do I feel about the playable characters? Terra. His description reads, a disciplined young man who feels compelled to find greater strength. He relies on brute force in combat. To me, he felt like a less bitchy Sasuke Uchiha if you are familiar with the Naruto series. He seemed like a happy, hard worker, and when he was with Aqua and Ventus, he just, he always had exploitable amount of darkness with him that every other person just seems to take advantage of. Regardless of his darkness, he seemed very kind-hearted towards his friends and even strangers. However, he fell victim to Xehanort, luring him towards darkness. He seemed to be very trusting, even towards the wrong people. Like I said earlier, he was taken advantage of by Maleficent and Xehanort. Terra has a strong will, a will so strong that it lingers. His will allows him to still fight Xehanort from within his animated armor. He was kinda able to struggle against Xehanort while having his body possessed, and Terra struggled well enough that Xehanort separated his body, his Terranort body, holy fuck, into a Heartless, known as Ansem the Evil, and a Nobody, known as Xemnas, the leader of Organization 13. I feel that he was a cool character with interesting development. He clearly is meant to feel similar to Riku's character in the sense of being a good friend with clouded darkness, where their initial con is just being gullible. I still found this character to be very likable. Next, we have Roxas, an outgoing and inquisitive boy who holds his Keyblade backhand. Quick attacks are his forte. When the crew first met Ventus, he was sad and listless, like young orphan reject Naruto Uzumaki. It wasn't until meeting Terra and Aqua that Ventus was able to come out of his shell to become the cheerful little brother figure of the group. He genuinely cares for his friends to the point where it becomes the weak point that Vanitas uses to manipulate Ventus. He genuinely cares for Aqua and Terra, and it's very sweet to see, regardless of how much caring we see from all the friends in the series. Some would say he seems pretty similar to how Sora turned out to be. I think Ventus is honestly a great character, and I enjoyed following him along. Next, we have Aqua, a kind young woman whose sense of right and wrong never wavers. She is nimble and a gifted mage. Aqua gives the vibe of a very smart character. When I think of someone being gifted as a mage, it seems like they would have a high intellect stat. That she has a strong sense of justice and seems to usually have her head in the right place. Unlike the other two, she doesn't seem to be easily manipulated like Ventus and Terra would be. Even with this info, I'm not sure why, but I still find myself not liking her much compared to how much I liked Ventus and Terra. I was able to see the love that Terra and Ventus had through the moments they've been manipulated and threw themselves on a line to save others. I know Aqua sacrificed herself to save Terranort, but in that moment, I truly believed she could have made it out with Terranort. Was she really heavy enough to actually be what was slowing down the armor glider? Every situation of conflict that Aqua had with the other two characters made it feel like Aqua was either going behind their backs or refusing to defuse the situations by just talking. I don't hate Aqua, but I still found her character to be decent. I know she's a favorite for a lot of fans, but she's just alright to me. How do I feel about the conflict between the main crew? As I kind of previously mentioned, I felt like the friction that the crew had with each other could have been easily diffused had they taken the moment to talk things out. Terra and Ventus were both hot-headed enough to just storm off and do their own thing, and I felt Aqua could have tried to muscle in a moment to speak her side. I shouldn't view it as her fault, and I don't. But in this situation, it feels like one of those where when there's a person that's more collected than the others would try to overextend for the non-collected peoples. A 70-30 kind of split. I felt like Terra, Ventus, and Aqua were all very understanding characters, and I think those three, and maybe even Ericus, could have just sat down, had a moment where they could all sit in a room and just talk things out. I think they'd hash that shit out quickly and gang up on Xehanort and Vanitas. How did I feel about the side characters? There were Disney characters scattered throughout the story, and I felt nothing about them. Well, I did feel something for Stitch. Stitch, if you're watching this, you a real one. You're a real one, Stitch.
Ohana means family. Ohana means never to be left behind or forgotten. Yeah.
Where was I? Yeah, here. What about the antagonist? Maleficent is the same. Vanitas. Starting with Vanitas because I have less to say about him. Vanitas is so one-dimensionally fucking lame. I really don't have a lot of words for him. He felt like the favorite character of the edgy kid in class that was slamming Monster Energy drinks and listening to slowed and extra reverb songs with a sad Bart Simpson edit. The kind that would try to imitate anime protags, but always in that mode. Like when Goku was mad at Frieza, or acting like literally any character from Blue Lock. Really, no more words for Vanitas, just shit talk. And this is where I add in cutscenes where Vanitas says lame shit. And if I don't do it, that means I got lazy. Xehanort. Okay. So I thought that Xehanort himself was also really fucking lame. Like his method of getting things done was lying and sending everyone on a goose chase to do his bidding. Kind of like the uncle in the Ninja Gaiden reboot on the Xbox. If you know, you know. He wanted to unlock Kingdom Hearts to do bad shit to the world. He knew his ass was too old to do... He wanted to unlock Kingdom Hearts to do bad shit to the world. He knew his ass was too old to see everything, so he was also setting up a plan to take Terra's young body to be able to live to see it through. I found that funny. However, the way we see that Xehanort goes on to become both evil, name-stealing Ansem, and Xemnas, along with how other people got dragged into becoming nobodies and members of Organization 13, I found to be very interesting. How do I feel about the ending? The ending of the game, secret ending included, I felt to be pretty decent. It was honestly both really sweet and tragic. It was awful to see how Terra and Ventus are essentially dead, or gone, and Aqua is doomed to the realm of darkness. Although, after Kingdom Hearts 2, I know it's possible to leave since Sora and Riku were eventually able to make it out. However, as of now, I just felt really bad for her. The fact that the Keyblades came to save her and that she was still inspired to just keep on pushing for the possibility of seeing her friends one day, I found to be very inspiring, and it made me really want to root for the three of them to just maybe be able to reunite one day. But one big thing about the plot I want to talk about was the inheritance ceremony, just because I feel like it really affects the universe of Kingdom Hearts for me so far. Earlier, I touched on the inheritance ceremonies that took place during the game. I think the ceremonies were a bunch of baloney and is kind of boo-boo for the plot of the series. Basically, you're saying Sora, Riku, and Kairi ate a strand of All Might's hair, and now they get to become one-for-all ass Keyblade wielders. I'm not a big fan of this, simply because it feels like an unneeded cop-out to connect the Wayfinder trio to Sora, Riku, and Kairi. It definitely mirrors the way Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade are to Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in the Naruto anime. However, when I just got through Kingdom Hearts 1, Re-Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, and I watched 358 over 2, I really felt like the three of them were truly worthy of the Keyblades without the ceremony. After seeing that the reason they have Keyblades is due to intentional and unintentional inheritance ceremonies, feels like the job market where you need to have connections in order to get your foot in the door. That's not to say they don't have good hearts, but would they have been Keyblade wielders without the ceremony? Let me know what you think. Overall, I found myself genuinely caring about the plot of this game with slight annoyance over the Keyblade inheritance ceremony baloney. Believe it or not, I'm actually starting to get warmer and warmer in this basement. And I don't know if it's because I'm wearing this suit or if it's actually just getting warmer in the basement. Let's start talking about the gameplay and combat. The first thing to mention is that this game has 3 separate story modes to play through, if you didn't know. 1 each for Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. It's best not to save over clear data of each story mode, or else it, in quote, may restrict you from enjoying certain content, end quote. The order to play through the game is top to bottom, as they are displayed in the game menu: Terra, then Ventus, and then finally Aqua. Combat flow, to start off, I didn't like the combat system in this game. I just wasn't a fan of it. You have your basic attacks that you perform by just selecting the basic attack and just mashing on the X button. It feels like you do very basic damage for your basic attacks. Unlike previous games where it felt like your basic attack still had some oomph to the swings. You have these moves called deck commands. Deck commands could either be physical attacks or even offensive and defensive spells. This feels similar to Recom's system with all the bullshit cards. Here, through various methods, we can acquire deck commands. Through these deck commands, by equipping them and killing enemies, we can gain experience that not only levels up your character, but also levels up your equipped commands. Once you reach a certain level, dependent on the command becomes eligible to combine with another leveled command to create a new command. There are set recipes to tell you how you can craft specific commands. You can either find recipe books in the game, look them up online, or just remember them through previous playthroughs. I did none of these things. To me, it felt like these deck commands were the most viable methods of attack, where basic attacks were worth using only when deck commands were on cooldown. Oh yeah, there's cooldowns for when you use a command. So assuming you have all your commands on cooldown, you gotta swap to just using your basic attacks. Another thing to note about using Another thing to note about your overall attacks, using any attack on enemies will fill up a meter called the command gauge. Depending on what attacks and commands you use, you will have different types of resulting command styles. The type shown here in this screenshot from the manual is called Fever Pitch. It will change your basic attack and combo finishers. Some of them are really ass. It makes your attacks in elemental accordance to whatever the command style is. God forbid you end up stuck fighting an enemy that is immune to whatever the element may be. Sometimes the attack animations are just ass in general. There are command styles that feel very strong, but there might be a case where I have a deck command combo I like to do, but I don't want to use the command style that comes from it. There are command styles that are very strong and sometimes efficient to use on crowds or boss fights. But I overall dislike this system and either hope for improvements or its systematic removal. There's a thing called the command board. I didn't interact with it at all. I never looked into it either. And since I didn't really care about it, I'm not going to cover it in this review. I'm not sure where to fit this in, but I think the boss fights in this game are either really boring or just plain ass fucking annoying. I'm sure there were efficient ways to cheese or beat the bosses, but if they were difficult, they were annoyingly difficult to the point where I either felt lucky beating them or it felt like it took way too damn long in a single run to beat them. I just fucked up my notes. First shitter I want to talk about is Experiment 221. Experiment 221 is a boss that you encounter multiple times when making your way through the deep space Lilo and Stitch level. This boss is just plain fucking annoying, and I dreaded fighting this boss each time I entered this level. It really sucked. Brag is next. Brag was super annoying because it felt like you needed to spam heals whenever you got hit, otherwise you'll get mag dump and stun lock to death. There weren't reaction commands like in Kingdom Hearts 2 to use, so fighting him just felt more annoying and a huge fucking drag. The fight where you play as Terra's Lingering Will armor and you fight Terranort was fucking awful. This felt like a huge fucking drag. Maybe I was underprepared, maybe I was underleveled. Who knows? But the windows I had to actually attack this goober felt so small. Me 2 attack windows on this boss. Fuck, you're so tight. Unless I'm missing something, and I'm writing this a few months after beating the game, and so much in my life has happened since beating the game. The worst fucking fight in this game, I'm sorry, I wrote fights, plural with an S, all belong to this fucking loser douchebag right here. Yeah, this fucker Vanitas. Bitch. This Timu Daft Punk bitch probably finances his McDonald's orders. This edgelord numbnuts has the most obnoxious moveset, depriving me of opportunities to smash this character's head in with a hammer. At the same time, this vibranium pile of shit can dish out large amounts of damage to you. I felt like my successful run of fighting him the first time as Aqua was horribly long. Every fight against Vanitas felt horribly long. Ventus has a special, cool-looking cinematic boss fight with him. The only issue is that the boss fight itself is once again bullshit. It feels like I need to find opportunities to stagger Vanitas and moments when he can't be staggered. I need to use a move that has invincibility frames to either keep up damage output or to just survive. Once you beat the phase, you enter some weird flying cinematic fight that requires you to do some QTEs. The QTEs are probably just pressing triangle over and over again whenever they pop up. I don't really remember. The only issue is I had a really hard time seeing the prompts because there was so much visual vomit all over the screen, and fucking up the QTE meant dying. I hated this fight very much. It was very cool looking and very cool plot-wise and cinematically, but I found the fight overall really fucking annoying. I don't want to enter the cuck posture, so I want to sit back up more. You know what I'm talking about? Where you like lean forward like this and you're just like, no. Yeah, let me just give you a rundown on the levels in this game. There's Land of Departure. That's like the home world for the protagonist. There's the Mysterious Tower, where you always go find Yen Sid. There's Enchanted Dominion. That's where we see Sleeping Beauty. Castle of Dreams, where we have Cinderella bullshit happen. Dwarf Woodlands, where we see Snow White and the Dwarves. Olympus Coliseum, where we find Herc, Phil, and Zack from Final Fantasy. Deep Space, that's that Lilo and Stitch level I mentioned. This is the worst fucking level in the game. The fact that I had to replay this level multiple times should be a crime in itself. This level alone can be the sole cause for someone to get burnt out on the game or just a single campaign run. I hated this fucking level. Neverland. Level sucks. I just didn't hate it as much as Deep Space. Disney Town. I don't remember shit. There was always like a sweet moment in there, but I don't remember shit. Radiant Garden. It's the same old Radiant Garden. The Mirage Arena. I didn't go here. And Keyblade Graveyard. Level designs. The levels were just okay. There wasn't anything really cool or innovational like Kingdom Hearts 2. This game was made for the PSP, so I wasn't expecting any super rad level designs or anything like that. So, just get a pass. It's whatever. Kind of like how I give the pass for Region of Memories. The music in the game, phenomenal as always. It's fucking Kingdom Hearts. They're always gonna have great songs. The only thing is, it didn't get a new Hikaru Utada song like Kingdom Hearts 2 did. I like Sanctuary more than I like Simple and Clean, but I do get hyped for both songs. Replayability. I would never replay this game. I would never fucking replay this game. I have a friend who loves Kingdom Hearts, and I ask him a lot of questions about the plot because sometimes I forget something or sometimes I need clarity on something. And he'll give me, good feedback, good information without spoiling the game for me. And I can tell that he really loves the series to the point where he's also the game's biggest critic. He's a lot more eloquently spoken than I am. He's a lot more loving of the series than I am. He holds the series Kingdom very dear to his heart. See what I did there? Kingdom Hearts. I think I remember him saying he doesn't want to play Birth by Sleep. Fuck Birth by Sleep. The weak points. I've already touched on the weak points of this game, but just to summarize them, the combat kind of sucks. Not entirely, but compared to what came before it, it feels like a downgrade. The level also feels like a downgrade, and the levels that suck hard. Sucks the meat off the bone type sucking. Why did I write that down? Some boss fights were extremely annoying, but I feel like it wouldn't be a Kingdom Hearts game without a few shit boss fights. However, these boss fights felt shit on another level. Let's go ahead and start wrapping things up. This game was terrible to play, but it was interesting story-wise. There were sections of the story that I felt to be in poor faith of expectations I had built up. I'm not sure if others would feel the same, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Nonetheless, I really did like the characters in this game. This bitch. I would rate Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep a 4 out of 10. Not as good as Sleeping Dogs.
Jackie! Jackie!
Eat this, Pookie! How you like that, huh?
Cocksucker!
I don't want to make a review for ReCoded. I watched the ReCoded cutscene compilation right after beating Birth by Sleep, and I thought it was just ass, and I don't feel like covering it. The next game I'm working on is Dream Drop Distance, which I actually started playing right after watching ReCoded, and then I have not played it since November, and it is now March. I started in November 2025. It is now middle of March 2026. If I'm being honest with you, I'm probably going to restart Dream Drop Distance. And I will be doing that on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/etron_. Swing on by and tell me this video is shit. Part of me wanted to throw this part in at the end or the beginning, but I thought I'd share that 2026 started off like shit. January was so shit, and February carried a lot of the residual shit from January. March is where things seem like to be on the up and up, but that does not guarantee anything. I'd say if you're having a tough time, if you're having any struggles that carried over from last year or the year prior, I would just want to say, take it easy. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Don't let the harshness, don't let the rude reality of the world affect your ability to be kind to others and yourself. Be patient with others, be patient with yourself, and as the late Ziz once said, we're all gonna make it, brah. Take it easy. Take care. Have a good one. I'll see ya. Woo!
I told you, I didn't want to be found. Not like this. I couldn't. I fought with Ansem, with Xanort's Heartless. When it invaded my heart and I won. But to use the power of darkness, I had to become Ansem myself.
Does that mean you can't change back?
This battle isn't over. And until it is, I still need the power of darkness.
Then, let's finish it. You're still Riku, no matter what. So how about it? Think we can handle one last rumble together? The king's waiting.
Yeah, let's get going.